Hello everyone. Hello. You're gonna have to all let me know if this is working because once again, I don't know what I'm doing. So send me a message if you can hear everything fine. If you can't, then I'm just talking and you can't hear me, and that's worse. do 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 do. So the songs that you were just listening to is Sex Bob-omb from the film Scott Pilgrim. I did that on purpose. The music that I'm going to be working on today, which I'm working on some demos, I've transferred some stuff from Mac to PC, and some stuff hasn't worked, some stuff has worked, so I'm going to just run through some stuff today. I'm going to try some new software. I just want to just check, make sure everything works fine, and once I've kind of done all that, then the stream might end. So it might be a half an hour to an hour, something like that. I'm just going to do this almost like as a test, but I don't want to just like do a test and then just leave. So I'm going to actually do something. So we're going to do some work on some demos. The music that I am actually working on that's demos is similar to Sex Bob-omb, which is why I played that in the beginning to kind of get you in the mood for it. So it's a bit of a weird spin-off project that I've been working on for a little while. There's nothing fully finished for it yet. I wouldn't even say that there's anything that is good quality yet. Like, I'm literally just demoing lots and lots of tracks to gradually break them down and then re-record them in a good quality. So what we're going to work on today, especially at the beginning, is just getting a tone for each instrument, because on Mac I had some presets for the emulated amps. I haven't carried those across, so I'm just gonna, in a new program, I'm using Guitar Rig, where normally I use whatever's built into Logic. It's the built-in amp emulators. I can't remember what it's called offhand, but I'm going to be using Guitar Rig instead. So I'm going to have a mess around with it. I haven't used it in years and years and years, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm going to mess around with that, and then maybe mess about with a few other things, depending on how long that takes. Hello everyone who keeps joining. I think we should be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch right now. I think. I hope so. But I have, yes, I believe we are. So hello to everyone who's on Twitch. This is new. I'm totally new to Twitch. I hope everything's going to be working fine, but I'm far better experienced on YouTube. But the aim is to do more and more stuff on Twitch, because I want to do kind of low-key streams and stuff, and I don't think that stuff would work on a regular from YouTube, but I think it would work really well on Twitch, so we're going to be doing that. If you do have any questions for me, by all means put them in the comments. I'll try and get through as much as possible and answer your questions. I think the stream health and speed and everything is fine. I don't think we're having like buffering issues that we had last time we did a live stream. I'm doing something slightly different this time, so that's why. If you are having any problems, let me know. I'll try and sort it out, but I can't guarantee anything. So there was some questions that came through while we were listening to the initial amount of music. I will answer those now, so I'll then get on with demoing. Think of this as a bit of a pre-show, I guess. How can I infuse hair metal with 90s grunge? I would give this advice for anything that you are wanting to blend, and look at it instrument by instrument, and if there is a very specific style to, let's say, the drums of grunge, then you can take that, and don't take influence from hair metal's grunge. From hair metal's drums, sorry. So then you're kind of picking and choosing each instrument. So your bass might be influenced by hair metal. Your guitars might be influenced by grunge. Your vocals might be influenced by... Well, vocals really could do a mixture of the two. Vocals are a lot easier to bounce between the two. But if you do it like that, then that stops weird clashes happening, I think, because you can end up having something where two styles totally don't mix, and you can totally avoid that by just sticking to one thing per instrument, and then you still get the blend because you're still molding the two genres together. You're just not doing it in a way that is messy. I think it's the right way. I get that's vague, but that's just the way that you'd have to start. I believe there was one other question. When are we going to do another music reviews? That is kind of why I'm testing this, because I much prefer doing the music reviews as big, long live streams. Mainly because you get to hear the entirety of a song. And I think that's quite important because we listen to the entire song for a music review. However, you don't. And that's on purpose because, especially on YouTube, where they crack down on copyrighted material, you have the problem of record labels or distributors claiming songs. So if we put, and this has happened on the most recent reviews where we put in the full song, it automatically gets flagged up by a distributor, and instantly we don't earn any money from that video anymore. They do. And I think that's slightly unfair because we featured, for example, in that video we featured I think 10 songs, and now for that entire video, for those 10 songs, there is one distributor that's earning the entirety of the money for that. I get that if we were earning the money, no artist would get that, and it's so small that it doesn't really matter anyway. But the only way around that is to either do it shorter and you don't get to hear the full song, or we live stream it on something like Twitch and then hope that it doesn't get flagged. I get that. The reason behind that is that if there is a song that is played for longer than 30 seconds, it's classed as a stream, and streams should be monetized, and it's in law that streams are monetizable and count towards the charts and all this kind of stuff. So if a YouTube video has one in, it classes as a stream, which means the artist should be earning money from it, which means that they earned the money from that video no matter what the other content in the video is. It's crappy, but that's the way it works. Someone's put through that they like the reviews as a shorter series. There's no harm in us actually doing, for Twitch, doing the longer videos where we show the entire song, and then we could actually cut it down and put the shorter version on YouTube, because then that's kind of solves both problems. I will only do that when the camera quality and stuff is good enough to put onto YouTube as a proper video, because currently this camera quality is okay for a stream. If I did this as a proper video, I don't think it'd be good enough. So when we get streaming to the quality that the videos are, that will be when I'll maybe do that. So that's kind of why I'm delaying doing another reviews episode, mainly just because I'm just waiting for that to kind of work itself out with what method we're actually going to do for it. We could go back to doing the old method. The only problem is that I've got a lot of submissions for that series in a inbox, and doing 3 songs per episode is not ideal for getting through all of them. So I don't know. Saying that leaving it like I am means that I'm not actually getting through them at all. Got another question come through. Hey, have you got any tips on recording shoegaze music? I play keyboard but have access to effects and other instruments. I've not done anything to do with shoegaze other than the when we recorded for the video that was What is Shoegaze. My main recommendation would be effects. Mess about with effects, try loads of different stuff, reverbs, delays, all that kind of stuff, and get a cool sound, because for me, you can do normal songwriting, whether that's pop songwriting or rock songwriting, you can do normal songwriting, and provided that you have heavy delays, heavy reverbs, it will sound like shoegaze. There's not a lot that you have to do to sound like shoegaze, other than having kind of the reverbs and the delays. I think it's quite a diverse genre because it's just the sound. There isn't a specific songwriting style that has to go into shoegaze. I might be wrong, but I think that's the case. I think it's quite flexible with the way that it's written. It's just the sound that kind of makes shoegaze. And it helps if you look at your feet. But in terms of helping write on your keyboard, melodies, just try and have cool melodies and stuff. Avoid just chord. Try and come up with melodies and little things. And often keyboards are really loud, especially like if you're playing live or you're playing in a band or whatever. So try and pull it down into the mix, because then you can play kind of cooler stuff without it sounding like you're trying to take over or like take away from the vocalist or whatever. Like, just try and sit in the mix and do just cool stuff. I think that's quite having reverb on obviously helps with that as well. Right, I think that's enough for the pre-show. I'm just going to check that everything is okay. Yes, I think so. The program that I'm using to stream for both Twitch and YouTube allows me to see individual stats for everything. So that's what I'm currently clicking through now. I'm not just doing stuff without you watching. So if I click this button, ta-da! I'm now flipped, but that's because it looks better if I'm looking at the thing that you're looking at. So this is the track that I'm working on. There are some synths that need to go in it, and I've got them down here, like these tracks that are currently unnamed. So it says audio, 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 audio. Those tracks are synths, but I've had a problem when transferring them over from Logic. Anyone just joined the stream, I mentioned at the beginning that I'm working on a track, but I was originally working this on a Mac, and I've transferred all the files over to PC, and some of the effects and stuff, like on the guitars, like all of the amps and stuff, on here. So I'll play it for you. I'll play just a guitar. I'll play that one. This is just what I'm working with. Oh, that's very, very quiet. Okay, so you should be able to hear that. I think it's quite quiet. It's a clean guitar. So I'm going to amp all of these, and the majority of this, what I'm going to be working on now, is going to actually be getting the sounds right for these instruments. Anyone who's just joined as well, at the beginning I played some Sexpa Bomb from the film Scott Pilgrim. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for with this. Yeah, the synths, for some reason the timing's gone off, so by the end of the take, they're completely out of time. I don't know why that's happened. It's as if it's like bounced in real time and couldn't catch up, but it didn't bounce in real time. So I really don't know what the problem is. I'm going to look into it, but I'm not going to look into it now. So I'm just going to work on the beginning of the song just in case any of the other tracks have that problem. And I'm going to mainly just work on amping the guitars and bass. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll just check if any more questions have come through. They have not, so that's cool. Once again, this will be the last time I ask, but everyone who's watching, can you just comment and is the quality okay? Are you getting audio fine? Are you getting video fine? Does it look okay? Because we've had these problems with streams before, and I'm hoping I've solved them, but I have no way of knowing whether I've solved them until after the stream, so I need you to tell me whether or not it's okay. Thank you for messaging. If you do, it helps me because I need to know whether or not to just press stop and just leave it. Right. Okay, while all those comments are coming through, I will mention now these kind of streams I want to do lots more of, but they're probably going to be mainly on Twitch. So if you get to the end of the stream and like, I want to watch these every time Lenny does one, Twitch will be the place to go and follow. It's free to use if you didn't know. You can just click subscribe is actually paid for, but on Twitch, if you hit follow, it works like how YouTube subscribes work. Also, below me is some bars. I haven't set them up right, so the subscriber number is slightly off, and the follow number is definitely off. So, everyone's saying that the stream is coming through fine. Awesome. That's a good moment, because I was worried that I hadn't actually solved the problems that I thought I had solved. Yeah, the door sounds quiet. I think mainly because that I was playing is clean guitar. If I play something like this drum track, is that better? Is the mix between me and that better, or would you prefer the door to still be a bit higher? Me and my friends want to make surf rock punk and somehow make it sad. How can we do this? The easiest thing to do that is to learn minor scales and play in minor scales rather than major, which is probably what you are playing in, because that's the natural thing that you would do. So where you would play your main chord being, for example, C major, make it C minor. Like that kind of thing. And look into minor scales, look at the chords that go into minor scales and try writing with those rather than writing in major, which is what you're probably writing, because that's the easiest and first thing that most people learn. That's the easiest way of making things sound sad. Also, make sure that the lyrics that you're writing are not generic, but are sad or downbeat or almost emo style. That will help you make sad music. It's still pretty quiet. Right, okay, I will pump that up, and I will... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Is that better? Wearing. So it sounded fine to me. Yeah, if the volume on... Ooh, apparently the stream just dropped for a second. Ba, 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 ba. Are we back? I think we're back. Sorry everyone, I think that the stream just dropped for a second, I think. Is everyone back? Is it working again? Hopefully. Right, I'm gonna start working on this. I will occasionally look over to the comments in case anyone wants to ask me any questions or anything. And I'm just gonna start working. I think I'm going to start work on the bass. Okay, I think that is sounding alright. I've came into this totally not knowing what to expect in terms... Oh, that's the wrong one. What to expect in terms of what Guitar Rig can offer. I'm glad that they have a fuzz. So I'm essentially emulating like what I have previously done, like what I did in the Logic session before I transferred everything over. With that, I had, I believe, the fuzz machine on it. And I did same as what I'm doing here, so I'm splitting the signal between an A channel and a B channel, putting the fuzz in the A channel, and then working between the two for the final mix. So we're getting some clean bass through, and we're getting some fuzzed bass through, I think this big fuzz, I'm not 100% that it's as good as what the fuzz machine is. I mean, it sounds pretty good, but I had to do a bit of work on the amp to get it to sound kind of beefy, like how I wanted to. That ultra low, I think, added a lot. I think it's actually taking out some of the mids, because there's about, it sounds like it's about 500 hertz. There's that kind of boxy sound. It's the sound that I really, really hate within mixers, and it seems as soon as you turn on that ultra low, it's actually taking that off. So I don't know whether it's actually shifting an EQ across from there to lower, but that sounds pretty good. I think I'm gonna leave that as is for now. I could probably get rid of that. How do you get rid? Okay. I think I will leave that as is for now, and I'll start working on a guitar. One thing that I definitely know that I want to do is have 2 separate sounds for each guitar. So left guitar and right guitar get 2 separate sounds, because they're playing the exact same thing for the entire track. So I want to make sure that they don't have the same sound, so that they actually kind of have a bit of separation from each other. Yes, I'll start working on the left guitar, I think. And I don't really know what I want to go for. I had something fuzzy before, but what I had before was a little bit, it sounded a bit crap, but that was kind of what I was going for. I was going for like a bit of a broken sound. I don't know whether to emulate that or to go for something that actually sounds quite beefy. I don't know. Oh, hello to people that are just joining. I'm doing a bit of a test stream, and while I do that, I'm working on some demos. If you have any problems, let me know throughout the stream, and I will try and sort them. Also, hello to anyone who is watching on Twitch. I'm totally new to Twitch. I'm trying to do my best on Twitch. So thank you very much for watching, and anyone who is on YouTube, I'll be doing more live streams like this on Twitch. I will be prioritizing Twitch over YouTube for these kind of streams, because I don't want to just spam the crap out of YouTube, because we try and post as good quality stuff on YouTube as possible, whereas Twitch is made for this kind of thing. It's made for live, so I'm going to try and do this as much as possible. So, where was I? I think I explained everything that I needed to explain. Oh yeah, hello to everyone who's come. And if you have any problems, let me know. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the track. This, I believe, is just a random preset. Yeah, I think it's this first. Yeah, it's this first preset. So I don't know what this sounds like. Okay, that's got some beef to it. Okay, I think that's not what I'm going for. See, problem with this is that there are 525 different preset sounds. I could make it myself, but I don't know what I'm doing with the components. I don't know what the components do. Fuzz is a fuzz. Don't know what demon is. Don't know what cat is. Don't know what distortion is. In fact, let's just play with it. Let's just I'll pick a really generic amp. And we'll just kind of go from there. Is there anything that's somewhat like a Vox? Because that's something that I actually know. I think the closest is probably going to be, what, Twang? Oh no, AC. There we go. It's actually got an emulator for an AC whatever. I normally use an AC30, and Logic has an AC emulator. I don't know which AC. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Why are you not looping? Okay, so I think I'll keep that as the amp for now. It's the kind of sound that I'm used to working with, so I think that's more fine than just going into some other amp. I can come back to the amp and change that at a later date. That's not a problem. Normally I would use something like a fuzz. In fact, that I might at a later date run these tracks through fuzz pedals that I actually have. I do it now, but all my stuff's at the studio. So I think I'll just run. Oh, there's big fuzz and fuzz. Let's test them. Let's see which sounds better. Fuzz and then big fuzz, and then let's turn big fuzz off. In theory, big fuzz might sound better. I apologise. Okay. Okay, you can tell I'm new to this, can't you? This isn't like the professionalism that you get on everyone else's streams. Right, okay, fuzz. That is the kind of broken sound that I was on about before, where it's just kind of... in fact, I think when I had this on Logic, it sounded more broken. It sounded more kind of thing. So this might be better. I definitely think this sounds a little bit... to go back to... I'll do that later. I was gonna go, here's an example of what I mean, but I'll leave it. Let's try big. You're not looping. I think what I might actually do is pull one of these on the left and the other on the right. That might actually sound quite good together. I will also point out I'm working in Ableton. This is my first time working in Ableton. I've never touched this program before in my entire life. I did a bit while I was dragging everything in, and I put this plugin on this track. Other than that, I don't know what I'm doing in Ableton. So there's certain stuff that I'm really good at in Logic, and I have no clue how to do in this. So we may get to a point where I'm like, how do I do this? So if anyone actually knows how to use Ableton beyond standby, because I don't know. The first thing that I'm definitely going to need that I don't know how to do is panning. I don't know how to pan. In fact, I believe there is a mixer window. There is. I'm guessing it's this. How do I know which track to switch? Okay, left. Oh, nope, that's not what I want. Oh, can I just drag you over? Okay, so that, no. That looks like what the problem might be. That says that BPM is 109.91, which is not the case. The session in Logic was 110. That might be where the problems lie with the... If I actually click on one of these, will it tell me? See, 110.2, 110.11. Okay, so it's bounced these files with preset tempos and they're all different? Apparently? Why? What? I'm not going to question it. This one section that I'm working on is in time, so I'm going to work on that. My plan is to re-record all this anyway, so I'm going to essentially use this to get the plugin and effect settings and then re-record certain stuff in. As well with these synths, I'm going to remake everything in Massive just because I can. That's not actually solved my problem of panning. Panning's here. Left all the way to left. No, all the way to the left. Thank you. All the way to the right with you. I've realised that you can't solo more than one track at a time. If I click solo on that, it takes the solo off of the other track. So I don't... Can I highlight two at the same... Oh, I've changed the volume. Can I highlight like two tracks at once? Nope, not seemingly. I can't drag, no. So I don't seem to be able to play two tracks at the same time. So I'd like to play both guitar tracks and then actually meld them both together without having to turn all the other tracks off. But I don't seem to be able to do that, so I'll have to go and turn all the other tracks off. So currently on is bass and drums. Yeah, okay, so bass and drums are currently on. So if I turn just guitar left and guitar right on, then I should get both. Yes, one is currently clean, but I can sort that. That's not a problem. Why have I now got this on the bottom bar? Oh, right. Right. Okay, so there's 2 different tabs there for the... right. Okay. I'm learning. This is a learning experience for all of us. Right. Okay. So if on here I duplicate and then cut, and then over here paste. Yes. Okay. So in the left track, okay, let's use the big fuzz for that, and then jump over to the right track, that one, and then take off the big fuzz and just use the normal fuzz. Let's listen to that on its own. Still seems to be having this problem of not looping. I think it's to do with this little red thing here, but I can't seem to drag it. I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so after playing that with the bass as well, the bass actually seems quite tame. I was worried that the bass was going to sound slightly overdone, but I think it actually sounds somewhat underdone. I want within the mix it to be like big and beefy and almost stand out more than the guitars do, and currently it doesn't. What I might do is I might, in the B split, which is currently clean, I might do something to that. That might work. But what do I use? Hello to everyone who's just joining. Hello. Okay. I guess we should just try random ones, I guess. Right. Okay. That low end on that sounds really nice. That tone doesn't actually seem to be doing anything, it just seems to delay it. It also, it's got a gate on it. Whoa. Okay, I see why it has a gate on it. Okay. It doesn't have an input going into it. Why is it all, if anyone knows what, could it be, okay. That's a way of simulating feedback. I've always wanted a way of simulating feedback that wasn't just holding a guitar up to like the speakers that we're currently using. That's cool. So does that only work? Does that only work after you've played? No. Okay. That's a synth in the making. Also, that's feedback turned off. I'm not going to question it. Right. Back to what we were doing. Go back to... Okay, let's blend the two. My problem is that the second one, this Mulholland Drive, is very I just want to say distorted. It sounds like a proper distortion as opposed to kind of the broken sound that I think I'm going for. Whereas when it's just the fuzz, I prefer that kind of sound. I just want more oomph behind that sound. And I think blending the two together doesn't achieve that. It achieves blending a weird fuzz and a distortion together. I don't know. I suppose I could pull it off. I suppose if I pull it off, then there's no point in even having it on. Okay, let's try something different. That's not what I want. Delete selected. Let's try Demon. That might work. And it's got some balls. Starting to sound alright. Okay, so let's pull that in with the guitars. Okay, we definitely get some clipping now. I'm totally not in the routine of using this program. Right, okay. So if I pull down each track a wee bit. Okay. Yeah, whatever's going on down here with this BPM stuff is definitely messing with the timing. Is that now too quiet for everybody now that I've done that? I have a feeling it might be. I'm just going to push it up a wee bit. So every time I press play, it goes from that red one. I've got no idea why. Starting to sound alright, I think. How long have I been going for? 42 minutes, and everything, I think, is fine and smooth. I hope. Everything on Twitch seems to be perfectly fine. Again, hello to anyone who's watching on Twitch. I'm new to this. Cut me some slack if this is a bit crap. Also, I realised that these things down here, they weren't working very well to start with, and I definitely haven't set them up right, because when a new Twitch follow comes in, as far as I'm aware, it will go up. But I think whenever I stop streaming, it will reset to whatever it was before, and the YouTube subscribers definitely doesn't move, because it's not even set to the right number and doesn't change at all. So I like the idea of having the goals there. I think it's kind of... my main thing is that I think that it's helpful for anyone on Twitch to go like, oh no, we know what we're doing, we promise, we've got, look, we've done this on YouTube for quite a while, look, we promise. But if it's not going to actually work, I'm going to take it off. I might try and get it to work, but as far as I'm aware, it just doesn't connect to YouTube itself. It just needs manual input, at which point, what's the actual point of it, other than just to I don't know. I'll try and mess about with it at some point and see whether or not I can actually solve it and make it line up with YouTube itself, so that it's just a counter of how many subscribers that we have, because currently it's just saying 9,200, and we've gone past that now. So I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm honest. I'm hoping that the quality is still okay, and yeah, I'm gonna mess about with this a little bit more, and then when it gets to about an hour, I think that's when I'll clear off. Hopefully this has been helpful. If anyone new has joined, by all means ask questions in the comments, and I will try and get back to you. I'll keep looking over and answering comments as we go. I'm now going to work on this central guitar. This central guitar... that's for the intro. Oh, I clicked and then the red thing moved. Is that what I have to do? I have to click there. Because I was like clicking up here and... Okay, I've now got rid of it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Right, okay, so... Okay, so this entire little intro section hasn't worked at all, because there should be... Yes, it is Ableton, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm used to Logic, so I don't know what I'm doing. The intro should have bass over it, and in the Logic session... I might show you the Logic session at some point, because the Logic session is... It's not mixed, but it sounds pretty finished. This is like totally raw compared to that. The bass track for the intro, whatever this BPM problem is that I'm having, it definitely had it. So the entire intro section sounds really bad because it doesn't have the bass over it. And it also had like this major effect on everything, which then like kind of slooped away for the main section of the song, which made it kick in. I don't have any of that currently, and this little bit sounds rubbish without it, but this is what it sounds like. So the idea was that it was just kind of, I guess, people setting up and just kind of messing around, and then when it actually kicks in properly, which I'll play a tune. Then it has that kind of oomph of, oh, the song's in now kind of thing. The idea with this eventually, I think, is to turn it into an EP, and my guess would be this would be a good opener because of that little opening track. I don't know, I haven't written all the songs, nor do I actually have, even slightly, an idea of what everything's going to sound like in the end. I'm messing about with vocal styles, I still don't know what I'm going to do in that side of thing. The synths are still totally not final. So there's a lot of work that I still need to do with this, but as of now, this is seeming like the better opening track out of everything that I've got. So the central guitar only seems to have something else here. Right, okay, so it was stuff for the verse that I totally mashed. Right, I'll not work on that now, because I think as we get later in the track, the BPM problem really ramps up, so I'll just not touch it at all, and... What can I mess around with? I might mess around with the drums, actually. So with the drums, I've started using the new tactic, I think, where I'm using 4 drum tracks. So these aren't final. Ideally, I'd want these split between kick, snare, toms, cymbals, and all that, and have them all on separate tracks. But for now, I've got them on individual tracks, and I have like here just one track that is the main drums. And then I also have electric drums, and I have the 2 of those central pans, so they sound like actual drum kits. So together it just kind of sounds like a heavily processed normal kit. Like it kind of sounds like a normal kit with like a clap on the snare, which I really dig, and it beefs it up a little bit by having that electronic sounding kick in there. The kick is a little bit more cleaner than it would be with just a normal kick. And then I do something a little bit weird, because I've got an entire drum kit panned to the left, which is a really like over the top hip hop kit, and then panned all the way over to the right is a jazz drummer, and it's a really weird like like kind of vibe that it gives off, because the jazz drummer's filling all over the place and doing loads of weird stuff, and the hip hop kit is adding weird samples in, and having those as like extras to the drum kit rather than being the drum kit itself adds like a cool dynamic to it that kind of I don't know, it feels layered, and drums don't normally feel layered in this way, with stuff going off everywhere, like what you could do if you had 6 guitar tracks, which a lot of heavily produced songs would do. It has that kind of vibe, but with drums. I'll just play... In fact, I'll show you what just the left one on its own sounds like. I apologise if this is totally panty the left. So this is like not right for this track at all. It doesn't sound right, it's just a hip hop thing. And it's got like samples in it and stuff, and it's different. And then on the right I have a jazz drummer. So he's doing a lot of syncopated stuff, he's doing stuff that, again, really wouldn't work with this track. But if I'll play the normal kits and then put those in. This will probably only work as well if you've got headphones in. If you've only got one headphone in, it's probably going to sound weird. If you've got a phone, this may not have the effect that I want, but I'm going to have to come to this problem anyway at some point, because people are going to listen to songs on phones. But for the better listening experience, use headphones. So this is just the normal drum sound. And then I'll add in the left. And then the right. And together it just has this kind of cool layered drum sound. It sounds even better in a mix and with the left and right pulled down a little bit. So I will do that so it's closer to what the final product will probably sound like. Drums left, pull that down. Drums right, pull it down an equal amount. That'll do. And then... there's just that in the background kind of delay style that, so when you'd use a delay in a mix, but sorry that you have to go piccolo. Isn't piccolo supposed to be all one word? I'm sorry that you have to leave, but thank you for coming to the stream anyway. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, like if you're using a delay in a mix, you don't really hear it. It's not something that you're consciously aware of until you're made aware of it, but it has an effect that's almost like subconscious, but it's not. It's just to do with the mix, and it's kind of what I'm going for with using these extra drums and having these kind of ghost notes that are being played by like the jazz drummer and the kind of ghost samples that are being played by the hip hop drummer. And it's, I don't know, I kind of like the effect. I think I'm going to keep it for the final track. I don't know if I will, because that'll be a lot further down the line, but I just wanted to make you aware of it in case you wanted to try it at some point. Like, this is genuinely something that you could do and just experiment with, because you don't have to use a jazz drummer and a hip-hop drummer. You can do whatever you like. I'm saying drummer because inside Logic you can actually have a preset drummer that you tell what you want, and he will just drum what you tell it to. It's a really cool bit of tech, which I don't think there's other technology available like for Ableton, so I've lost that, but I bounced it out in Logic, so that's why I'm saying drummer and not like MIDI drums. I didn't write them myself. It was a drummer that I told what I wanted. The final drums will be I'll make myself, but for this demo I've not done that, and I don't know where that sentence started, but that's how I'll finish it. Yeah, I think that's as much work as I'm gonna do on this. I think. I could probably push the guitars a little bit more. They do sound a little bit umphy, but I don't know if it's doing that until I start putting the synths in, because the synths really take take a lot of the limelight in this track, and I can't put them in currently because this BPM problem that I have is quite substantial with the synths. I'll turn all the synths on and press play at the end of the track, and you'll see what I mean. It does not sound good. Turn everything on. I apologise. This might be quite loud, and also it sounds terrible. It's not good. It's definitely not good. So that is part of this BPM problem that I'm having, and we'll try and fix. I genuinely don't know what it is. I don't know why the tracks are 110.03 BPM and 110.02 BPM and 111.85 BPM. That's way quicker. 82.55 BPM. But I don't know. I don't know why it's done it. If anyone's had this problem, by all means, let me know. I'm hoping it's a problem with Logic bouncing these out and not a problem with Ableton, but I really don't know. Yeah, I'll try and work on that. And if I do solve the problem, I'll let you know whenever I do the next stream doing something like this, because I think that's a problem I've never ever come across before. Don't know. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Right. Right, what I'll do is I will flick back to that, I think, and it feels weird now that this is actually the correct way around. I will save this up, and if anyone has any questions, by all means, ask them now, because I'll stay for 5 minutes or so, and if anyone's got any questions, I will answer them, and then I will leave you to enjoy your evening, or I suppose if you're in America, it's probably just like midday time now, isn't it? So I hope the stream quality has been alright today. I'll put some music on in the background. This is definitely gonna get flagged on YouTube if I keep it. I hope the volume's alright with the background music. Is that okay? Can you hear me fine? Does the music need to be louder? I don't know. It feels so odd using a different program, like at college when we learned about everything like 4 years ago or whatever. We were using Pro Tools and Cubase, which feel pretty similar. I think Cubase feels a lot similar to Ableton than the others do. But even so, like Cubase we used just for writing. It was just like for use for composition and when we learnt theory. And then we would use Pro Tools for actually mixing and doing the kind of stuff that I was doing today. And then when I left college and got a Mac, I started using Logic, which in my opinion is the better of the four. And then I've always used that up until today, where I've come onto Ableton and been like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like it feels like an odd transition, because there's just stuff that I want to be there that just isn't there. I imagine I'll learn it eventually. Especially this BPM problem's really bugging me. I have no idea why that's happened. I know Logic does bounce tracks and in the metadata will attach the BPM. As to why I wonder if it's actually bounced them to the correct BPM, assigned the wrong BPM, and because it's assigned the wrong BPM, Ableton is actually playing it slower or faster than it should, and therefore that's what's causing the problems, and the file itself is actually fine. Maybe so if I actually go into Ableton and set all of the BPMs to 110, maybe that would actually solve my problem. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I will look into it and I will let you know. I've got a question through. Two of my favourite artists are 21 Pilots and Linkin Park. Is there an interesting way to combine those styles? Yeah, probably. So you've got two artists there that both rap. So you're probably going to be best off implementing rap into whatever it is that you make, that would make sense because both of your influences have rap. Different styles of rap though, and very different styles of lyrics. So that would be up to you as to what you would do. To be fair, with lyrics, that tends to be pretty specific to you as a songwriter as opposed to necessarily what you're influenced by, because you can get super personal with stuff, but if you don't want to, then you won't, and you'll write more vague and you can write more metaphorically. That is totally up to yourself. In terms of instrumentation, there's a lot you could do. 21 Pilots has a very, very, very diverse discography, so you could take, for example, their first album and just work between that and Linkin Park, but you could also take their entire discography, which is very diverse, and Linkin Park's entire discography, which is very diverse, and instantly you've got a lot of potential for mixing and matching things. One thing that I would definitely recommend is maybe, especially in the early stages, don't be as diverse as them, because that can hinder an artist when they're first starting out, because you will write a song in a specific style with rap over it or whatever, and then if the next track is the other end of the spectrum, like the complete other end of the spectrum, and everyone in the audience doesn't know you as an artist, you're gonna have a bit of a problem, because they don't already know your tracks, and now you're playing two songs that are completely different from each other, so they don't know what your style as a band is. You're not setting a kind of a standard for this is kind of what we sound like. If you're too diverse, you run into that problem, which means that then you don't actually pick up a proper audience or a set of fans, because they aren't a fan of you as an artist, they're a fan of one song that you do because they don't actually like the others. You run into that risk. You can solve that quite easily by just limiting where you take influences from. So if you specifically want to use one type of sampling, like what Linkin Park does, maybe for the first few years of you as a writer, maybe only use that kind of style while you get your own style down and all that kind of stuff, and then let it evolve naturally, rather than being like, they do this, oh, and they also do this, and they also do this, and they also do this, so I'm going to do all of those things, because that can hinder bands, and I've seen it hinder a lot of bands. I hope that helps and has actually answered your question. So if no one else has got any more questions, thank you very, very much for tuning into this. I'm gonna do more stuff like this at some point. In fact, all of you that are currently watching now, has this been alright? Has the quality been okay? Have you enjoyed it if you've been here for quite a while? If anyone's just tuning in now, I've been here for an hour and doing stuff. I believe you can click back and actually watch it. If not, this video will be available. I think it will definitely be available on Twitch to rewatch. On YouTube, it might be. I don't know. If it's... I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll see what YouTube and Twitch give me, and then I will proceed forward from there. As far as I'm aware, Twitch will definitely have stored this, and you can watch it on demand. I don't know about YouTube. Yeah, has this been alright? Has the quality been alright? I think I have totally solved my connection problem. I'm actually doing this from a hotspot rather than from actually a router, which seems to be working way, way better. And hopefully this is sustainable and can do this more often. Thank you to anyone who has subscribed, or what's the other one? Followed. Twitch has followers. Or followed through the stream. One question. When is Dogmatic releasing an album? So anyone who doesn't know, Dogmatic is the band that I'm in. An album release is most likely quite far away. We're trying to do it as properly as possible. So we have some live sessions. So we've already got 2 live sessions out. Next week there will be the 3rd live session going out. The fourth will be going out early next year, when we will be working on the next singles. I think we're going to do 4 singles in a row. Then I think we might combine those 4, maybe. Don't take my word for this, but maybe we will combine those 4 songs into... thank you for following. I'm not going to try and say your name. But, okay, that works. That might have been happening throughout the stream. I haven't been looking at this, so I don't know. But the thing up there works. Thank you for following. Anyone who wants to go and follow on Twitch, please do, because that would really help us out, because these things will be happening on Twitch more than YouTube. Back to thing. It's like... yeah, the 4 singles that we'll be doing next year, which should last us up to summer, if not longer. We may compile into a full EP. I doubt the first single that we've already put out will be on it, and the live sessions, the 4 live session tracks that will obviously be out by about January next year, they will probably be compiled into like a live EP, but you can get all those tracks for free anyway, so that's not really, I guess, relevant. In terms of an album, that's way down the line, because you only get a chance to do a debut album once, and on this channel we are constantly saying, please don't release an album until you are really ready, because you only get to do the debut album once. So it would be hypocritical if we then just went and released an album. So we aren't going to do that. We don't have any plans to yet. We need to be at a stage where there is a significant audience ready for it, which we will obviously work towards, but there's no guarantee that that's ever going to come, and if it does, it could be in a few years' time, at which point that will be when we will do an album. Yes, the live sessions will be uploaded to the Dogmatic YouTube channel and also social media. If you want updates, we do have a mailing list. If you go to wearedogmatic.com, we have everything on there, but you can sign up to the mailing list. You can view all the tracks that have been released already. All of them are up for free download, so you can download them for free. I believe if you download them for free, you sign up to the mailing list anyway. So if you do want to be notified about stuff that's going to be happening with my band, you can do so by signing up to the mailing list or just following us on social media. We always post about the thing that we're releasing. If you want direct access to the videos, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you click on this channel, so down there somewhere there should be a The Music Lab thing. If you click on that, on the right hand side bar we link to the Dogmatic page, and if you're on mobile you should be able to scroll across to channels, and Dogmatic should be in the channels. How am I? I am fine, thank you very much. I'm actually really happy that this has gone as well as it has, because previous live streams have not gone very well, so I'm really happy that this has gone well and no one's complained. Normally when we do a live stream there's loads of people going like, it's not working, the audio's messing up, oh the video's awful. I haven't had any of that, so I'm happy. Thank you for asking. How are you, Trent? I don't know whether or not having music in the background and also having the music at the beginning is going to flag up as copyrighted content on YouTube. I would guess so. If it does, this video will not end up on YouTube at all. I don't think Twitch has a filter for that, so I might be cheeky and try and keep it on Twitch. I'm glad that you're alright, Trent. Right, cool. It's been an hour and 10 minutes, so I think I will call it a day. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope it's been alright. I'm still getting to grips with how to do all this, so I'm just going to test this. So that... Oh, I've started loading other stuff up as well, but that should have turned the... Yeah, so the camera's off, now the camera's on, now it's showing my screen, now it's showing... Yeah, everything works. So I know what I'm doing with that now. So... Yay! You just turned up and now I'm going. I apologise, but if you do follow the link in the description over to Twitch, this video should be available to watch on Twitch. How often will the Twitch streams happen? I want to get them to at least once a week. It'll be something like this where it's just totally impromptu and I will just start and I'll just for an hour or so just mix or just talk or just do a Q&A or whatever. Sometimes Joe will be here, sometimes Joe won't be here, but I want to get it to at least that. It's going to be quite impromptu. I don't think I'm going to plan ahead until we actually have a proper schedule down, which won't be for the foreseeable future, but hopefully about once a week. And if it is once a week, then it definitely won't be happening on YouTube all the time, because I think that's quite spammy. On Twitch that's fine, on YouTube less so. So yeah, if anyone does want to see these things more often, go and check out Twitch in the description, where we will also have these saved so you can watch them back at a later date, again, where that won't be available on YouTube. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll do this more often. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good evening, I guess. Oh, that's new. Someone's followed. Thank you, Dallas202. Yeah, thank you for supporting us on Twitch, because we are new to Twitch. On YouTube, we've got 9,000 and whatever subscribers. Like, we're fine. We appreciate subscribers, but it's not like we're like, please subscribe. But on Twitch, please subscribe, because if we've only got 2 followers, it doesn't look great, and no one wants to watch someone with two followers or whatever. I'm not trying to force you to do it, just do whatever. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm just waffling. I will see you next time this happens. I've got a video coming out tomorrow, so I will see you tomorrow.